Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Defect run. And today we got a real treat because this is a claw run. Today, starting off with the max health for a rare colorless card, and we get one of the high rolls, Hand Greed. Obviously looking for Apotheosis, but Hand Greed is a close second. Excellent card. Carnage that also snowballs your gold is really powerful. Finding it on floor 0 is making it quite good. Trying to evaluate our path here. Want to find a campfire before an elite. It's a little bit awkward actually. Would love to go right, hard right here, but that's 5 fights in a row. That's pretty ambitious. So I think I do decide on going in the middle way, and then taking one shop. 2 shops is kind of a lot for this early in the run. And of course we want our 3 hallway fights before the elite, since after the 3rd fight you start getting the hard pull fights, of course, so you always want to try to find at least 3 fights before the elite. So you can actually make a deck that can kill elites. And dual cast hit both times on the right guy there, so I got Hand of Greed. Just get a double greed there, and a very tough first pick here. Consume is pretty bad on floor 1. Don't really have the orb generation yet, and you're committing to that before finding orb slots, which is pretty sus. Barrage also, same thing. We don't really have orb generation, so how are we making it do damage? So I take the claw. Floor 1 claw, very exciting. And hoping to Hand of Greed here again. Here could kill, but I know that I could have a Hand of Greed coming, so I'll take 1 for 25 gold, 20 gold rather. And we found it. And there's a Skim. Notably, Skim is a little bit early here, but it does help us draw back towards our Hand of Greed, and if we're doing the claw thing, then claws cost 0, which goes well with draw. And here's our first shop. There's a claw in the shop, so I will be buying that. Claws don't really come online until you have 2 of them, after all. So we are officially a claw deck already on floor 3. Very exciting. Get to remove a card. And charge batteries on sale. I'm going to buy the cool headed just because making a frost orb seems pretty good. Want to have one of those. Get to greed. Luckily not bottom decking it yet. If that was in the bottom 2, then not only would we have drawn a turn late, but would have also reshuffled without it in our deck, so we had to draw our whole deck again. That'd be bad. So I got to double greed there. And there's an early Glacier here. Pretty good card. Consider taking, honestly, both of the other cards. Charge Battery is a fine block card as well. And it's cheaper, but Glacier is just Glacier, you know. And get the money, so in Act 1, you're going to get 100 gold, Act 2, 200, etc. That's pretty good. Would have preferred Relic, of course, but certainly can't complain about the wheel going your way. And get to upgrade our Hand of Greed. Upgrading Claws, unfortunately, doesn't do anything. It's probably part of the reason why it sucks so much. Claw only increasing the first hit of the Claw when you upgrade it. That's so sad. If it was like future Claws deal 4 damage more instead of 2 damage more, then you might really have a deck there. But I mean, it is the case that even with Claw's current iteration, that it can work on occasion, so it's pretty exciting. I do like that it's sort of, you know, niche, as opposed to I'm building Claw again. And Claw's gonna be good here against Lagavulin. A nice girthy enemy to keep digging our claws into. Hoping for a Glacier there, didn't find it. Get dual cast Frost Orb though. So trying to block our best here. Tough draw here. all the defensive cards on the turn where it's not hitting us is a bit of a bummer, but we are reshuffling. And yeah, this very sad draw, very sad draw. I'm considering block botting for 10. I do. Overblocking for a bit there, of course. And there's Glacier. Full-headed blocks for more than defend because of the dex minus. And we get to hog. It's a pretty good fight. And we get a Dreamcatcher, which will give us a card reward screen whenever we rest. That's not too bad. And Electrodynamics is here. Just a nice answer versus some of the really problem fights in the game. Gremlin Leader, Slavers, and Rectomancer. Really nice to have that Electrodynamics against those sort of enemies, where the claw scaling is simply too slow for realistically getting out of those fights alive. Strength pot's pretty good, and here's a third claw versus trash. I'll be taking that. Probably not good to take third claw this early, honestly, but I'm committing to the bit. You're welcome. And Matryoshka's here. I thought about skipping it, but I will take it. So now our next two chests will contain 2 relics instead of just 1. And thinking about what to do at Living Wall. Gonna go for a card move, I think. Smaller deck to find our claws more often and skim more often. And Hand of Greed more often. I've been lower and lower on Transform lately, and it's fascinating that even after thousands of hours, I can still so significantly reevaluate things. It's why it's so hard to like give advice for this game. Because what if everything I know is a lie? It's possible. So I know I have Electro, so I'm kind of splitting the damage here. I'm thinking about Hand of Greed, but certainly not Hand of Greeding the left guy anymore. With Electro in play, it's ambitious. There's Hand of Greed for the right guy, so we get out with a good amount of money anyway. And a Whetstone's here to upgrade 2 random skill or attacks. I'm going to check the card reward first, just in case. Upgraded the Claw. Doesn't do a whole lot, unfortunately, but that's fine. And a sad turn 1 here against triple attacking Lice. Hate to see that. So I'm going to attack the one with the most health that's hitting us for the most damage. Take 13, sure. Could have blocked a bit, but it's not really progressing the fight at all, and yeah, this fight is just like that sometimes. When they're all 3 hitting you, it's always a bit of a bummer. So I reshuffle there, looking for this Hand of Greed. So we got a lot of money here. I'm probably meant to collect this Ball Lightning with Electrodynamics in the deck, but I don't. Skip here, I believe. It's especially against Slime Boss. So the thing is, like, I only took the Electro, like, yeah, it's a nice burst of fast AoE damage, and that's kind of it. And I'm trying to lean into the claws as much as I can, just for fun. Though I do understand Ball Lightning is a great card in Act 1, of course. So this is our super elite. We did, in fact, take it. And it's a Metallicize Lagavulin, so it's going to be gaining 4 block every turn. A little bit annoying. Not playing Hand of Greed here seems suspicious. Should have probably dual casted instead of the second defender. It's okay. So yeah, this is, I'm really depending on these claws here because like we are going to have a lot of strength minus and dex minus, so not doing the damage earlier is going to mean fight can last a little bit longer. But they are cooking, that's for sure. Unfortunately, not drawing Glacier again here is... It's tough, man. There it is, though. Wolf, not playing Glacier would be insane. Wow. I think I didn't... Yeah, I remember that. I didn't realize I was getting attacked somehow. Like, I spaced out there. I think I thought that was the off turn, and I just wasn't paying attention. And found a defrag, so that's pretty good. Oh, see, that's a blunder, by the way, of course. That was very, very stupid. But we're gonna make it through. So you drink the fruit juice before resting, so you get more health, of course. Resting is a percentage of your max health. Yeah, I'm like so... There are enemies in the game that always follow the same pattern. And like I'm so used to autopiloting that sort of thing, like I just know what the enemies are doing, that I don't even look at their intents. Like this enemy, for example, Slime Boss always oozes into charge up the big attack into big attack. So like there's no need to even look at what it's doing, because I know what it's doing. But on occasion, my brain just thinks it's doing something else that it's not, or I wasn't paying attention for one turn or whatever. Definitely should be looking at the screen if you're playing this game. That's one advice I can certainly offer. Splitting the left guy here. And then Glacier will kill both the gray slimes here. Glacier killing things is funny. The lightning orbs kill, of course. So managed to make it through this fight. Our claws are doing damage. Love to see it. Looking for Hog. No need to kill it yet. We can hand greed. And we got there. So despite almost punting against Lagavulin, made it through. And there's a Seek here. Oh, we're gonna take that, of course. And this is a tough reward here. Fusion Hammer preventing us from upgrading. That is just too large of a downside on the Defect. There are so many powers that Defect takes that demand upgrades. Buffer, Defrag, Loop. These cards are just literally half as good without being upgraded. And yeah, Heat Sinks as well. It's just... I think Fusion Hammer might be the hardest one. Defect might be the hardest to take Fusion Hammer. It's just such a disaster to not be able to upgrade cards. And the Frozen Core, of course, is a little bit mid. So I take the Pandoras, despite removing a lot of cards already. And we get a pretty good one there. There's Bias Cog, Buffer, Self-Repair in there. And notably, there is a Turbo in there, and that is huge. Not getting energy here was definitely a bummer, so finding the Turbo in there is really nice. Unupgraded Buffer, though, not huge. And of course, Bias Cog is good, but we just get the Core Surge, which is kind of a bummer. Would have loved to have that Core Surge now that we have this Bias Cog, but of course, no way to know that we're going to find Pandoras into Bias Cog. And so you can't really think like that. And the way this path is looking, I really just didn't want this early shot because the path is too ugly otherwise. So hoping to survive till the very end here with a ton of money. So much money. And forgot to mention, by the way, we found a Maw Bank. Probably from that log of one at the end where I was busy yapping about how much I messed up. But that is going to give us 12 gold per floor until we spend gold at the shop, and that's another arguably an incentive to not go to a shop. But the thing is, we already have 700 gold, so we really would like to go to a shop right now, of course. And This is the Shelled Parasite. Always a bit of a bummer for the Defect because Lightning Orbs, which are often how you're doing damage, don't scrape the plated armor. That's a shame. I think I might have lethal here, so I must have done math. Good job, past me. Huge. And yeah, the self-repair is huge because we just got rid of all of our defense, so we have like almost no block. So very reliant on this self-repair to keep us alive through this act. It's going to be very sus until we get to a shop. That's for sure. And hoping to deal enough damage here that I get out next turn with this bias cog. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a lot. Good claw. Unfortunately, didn't draw the hand agreed. And we got there with the evoke. Oh, and we even get the hand agreed because we drew the turbo. Huge. And get to take a reinforced body. We have like almost no block cards, so I'm going to be doing that. Get to remove a card. Thunderstrike, obviously the worst card here. It's not even close. Thunderstrike is basically unplayable. And library's pretty good. There's another buffer here. There's another claw here. Sorry, I don't take that. Capacitor is here as well. And Capacitor will be pretty good with our amount of focus that we have, and Glacier, Chill, and Cool-Headed, of course. It's gonna be taking that. Hard to say no. Probably Zap Buffer. Could have considered playing the hand agreed as well. Bias Cog is here, but it looks a little bit sus, and it also costs all of our energy. So get to Q Capacitor into the Reinforced Body. That's pretty good. And yeah, triple claw in here is... Our next turn isn't looking particularly good, it has to be said. Triple claw against Snecko in particular is kind of a disaster. The costs are working with us though, luckily. And Snecko is kindly not doing big hit after vulnerabling us. It's kind of weird that Snecko can do that. Usually enemies that like debuff you are coded to not be able to like immediately debuff you again, but Snecko is not like that. It's strange. I think I just misplayed there. Did I have to take damage there? If I could have blocked more, that was a misplay, obviously. And another turbo is here. It might be too little card draw situation for a second turbo. But we'll see. And we're back. Past me had to take a moment there, but we do in fact take the turbo. So that's going to be pretty good. And so we're really looking for more draw here. Just play your whole deck, draw a lot, keep playing turbos, keep getting more energy. That's the sort of defect run that feels really unfair. And luckily, it is actually hitting us for 24 on turn 1. Normally, that's a disaster because it could alternatively hit for 14, but we drew the buffer. So we're happy to get hit for 24 there. And I do Strength Pop. Pull the defrag. This is going to be a little bit sus. This is part of the reason that Claw just isn't really good, is there are just too many fights in the game that are too fast for Claw to realistically get there. Like, yeah, it'll get there eventually, but you're probably going to be dead by the time that's true. And so Claws are kind of there as like a way to scale really hard against the biggest health enemies in the game, Giant Head or whatnot. And yeah, Slavers and basically every Act 2 Elite really cares not about your claws. And got to Hanagreed, that's nice. Find a Gremlin Horn. Every time an enemy dies, we will draw one card and gain 1 energy, and we found a Heat Sinks. Pretty huge. I do unfortunately have to rest here. Found another Defrag though from our Dreamcatcher, that's pretty good. And our first Matryoshka proc goes off. We get a Regal Pillow, giving us more health whenever we rest, and a Happy Flower, giving us 1 energy every 3 turns. That's really nice, of course, with only 3 energy in our deck. And here we have the rest build going. Every time we rest, getting 2 benefits now. So decide to rip the Electrode, do some damage here. And yeah, I mean, again, we have so many upgrades that are good right now that it was really tough to have to rest there. But the important thing is to live until we get to a shop, because we have 900 gold. So I'm not being greedy here. I'm just like, just rest. It's fine. We're about to hit a huge power spike a lot of the time. And we do have Bias Cog in play here against this enemy, which can heal, so we need to get out of here pretty fast. And we have no way to make lightning orbs, really, so yeah, gonna have to claw our way out of this one. No pun intended. And the Heat Sinks was huge. Not being able to upgrade the Heat Sinks, bummer, for sure. But even just unupgraded Heat Sinks is actually fairly good here. Get the full block here. Get the Hanagreed. Surprised I haven't played Chill yet, but I guess I was just full blocking every turn before that. And then hoping to draw our Hanagreed again. Can skim for it. Whiffed. Can reboot for it. Found it. Pretty good. These cards are pretty bad. Leap is here. Sure. Barrage is, like, fine, but we have 3 claws, so, like, just taking a common attack is kind of whatever. Don't want to dilute the deck too much. And we've reached 1,000 gold. I was very excited about that. I'm mousing over it. It's very unusual to reach 1,000 gold. I don't know if I've ever reached 1,000 gold without clicking on the 999 gold from a Mind Bloom event. So this is tough. If I play Reinforced Body for 2, I only block for 15, so we still take the damage because of the buffer charge. Getting consumed for only 1 damage. But now I'm like, okay, I might as well just play this because I'll take, 6, buffer it, and then, yeah. Snake Plant does not mess around, man. That's for sure. Get to seek for a Hanagreed, that's nice. Focus Pot is good. Second Capacitor is good, unfortunately over a 4th claw, but of course, we're not taking a 4th claw. There's 3 claws, there's plenty of claws. And finally a shop. So I'm gonna buy Frozen Eye. I actually don't even think I use that really, but I mean, it's there. So that'll let us view our draw pile in order when we're in a fight. That's pretty nice. By Oddly Smooth Stone, giving us 1 dexterity, that's always nice. And Omori, preventing the next 2 curses we find, just in case. Not usually worth buying, but we have so much money that I just did. And then there's also Master of Strategy here. I do believe I buy that as well. Card remove is a little bit tough here. I don't know what to even click on, so I'm thinking about it. I think I remove a Zap here. And normally, this is actually pretty reasonable. It's like, you're spending an entire card draw to just make 1 Lightning Orb. But we do have Electro and no other way to make Lightning Orbs, which actually makes this rather awkward. I consider removing Reboot as well. Reboot is fine, but it's unexciting. So I do remove Zap. I actually think this is a mistake in hindsight because of electrodynamics, of course. And we find really good relics here. Symbiotic Virus will give us 1 Dark Orb at the start of each combat, as you can see. And Mummified Hand, the absolute dream here, letting us reduce the cost of a card in our hand to 0 for the rest of that turn every time we play a power. And so with heat sinks and a bunch of powers in your deck, as the defect, of course, that is exactly what you're hoping for, basically. And so as you can see now, we've done the Electro thing against Gremlin Leader for the first turn, but now we have no way to make Lightning Orbs ever again, and that could be a little bit sus. And my thought process at the time was, by the time that matters and we need that, our claws are going to be cooking. And we're also going to have like our entire deck in play. But I removed the Lightning Orb before we found Mummified Hand. So, yeah. A little bit silly, perhaps. But also, what else was I removing? Maybe Dual Cast? Should have played that Claw, of course. And rebooting the Claw Turbo Void is really bad. You hate to see that. But yeah, we are genuinely dealing most of our damage with Claw. That's true. So you may think it's a little bit disingenuous to call it a Claw deck when we're doing the Heat Sinks Mummified Hand thing, but it's not. We are, in fact, clawing to win. Static Discharges here. So now we get to upgrade a card finally. It's obviously Heat Sinks. Obviously Heat Sinks. I mean, how could it not be Heat Sinks? And I'm looking at Frozen Eye here. Heat Sinks is 5 away, so that'll be good. Let's see if I actually use it, because I don't really remember using it very much. I'm not much of a Frozen Eye player. Turbo's coming. That's gonna be good. Yeah, we can definitely just play Bias Cog here. Absolutely. Hoping that Electrodynamics gets hit here. That'd be nice. It does. It had to. Cards that are already 0 cost cannot get reduced, so if everything in your hand costs 0 already, then it will always hit the one that's not 0. And the really cool thing is once we have all our powers in play, which we do really fast, then we're drawing the claws really often. And, we have Skim, Cool-Headed, Turbo, Claw, so it's really a nice pile, to be honest. Get to seek for a Void, so we don't have to lose the energy. Considering rebooting here, probably. But this is, like, part of the reason why reboot is bad. It's like, all these cards that are ethereal that we want to go away will just get shuffled back in. It's, ugh, kind of gross. And you have to waste a draw on the reboot, so it's kind of like a slime that you can't even play. Sometimes. It's interesting. Yeah, we should get out before we get hyper beamed for sure. Here's a good reboot. No need to turbo here. Yeah, now we're doing so much damage we can't even claw again without dealing too much damage to Hand of Greed, sadly. So I'm probably going to go turbo Hand of Greed and then try to draw into Hand of Greed again next turn. Oh, well, I also realized that we can just tank the Hyper Beam because we have Buffer Charge as well, so wouldn't even matter if we didn't find it, but we did find it, and at least Happy Flower on 2, which is good. And really good options here. Fission and Echo Form, both here. Fission, of course, we make a bunch of orbs, we make a bunch of orb slots with capacitors, and then we fission once we're out of gas and draw a whole new hand, gain 1 billion energy. It'll be really, really awesome. I really wanted to click on it, but Echo Form is here with Mummified Hand, and that's simply too powerful to ignore. So I'll be clicking on that. Fission was close though. Like if Fission was there against 2 trash cards, I would be very happy with fishing, for sure. And I take the nuclear battery, giving us 1 plasma orb at the start of each fight. With double capacitor, just seems really good. So looking for campfires, looking for question marks, because they may find curse for good thing events, which we have Omori for. We'll love to see Mind Bloom here to gain 999 more gold. Get the shapes fight. And yeah, the master strategy has definitely been pretty good. Should just turbo echo form, yep. Of course. Skim twice. Looking for the whatchamacallit. And agreed. There it is. Gonna take a little bit of damage here, but it's fine. I have a self-repair in play. Third turbo plus is getting a bit, or a turbo plus. What, third turbo? Not necessary. And FTL, although it looks like a free draw, is not drawing after you played some number of cards, and we are playing a lot of cards, so it is going to be a liability a lot of the time. I actually retraced my steps there over heal plus, you know, lose, get cursed, even though you have Omori, because I was hoping to find some better use of Omori. And 3 max health is kind of whatever. Although that was, in hindsight, obviously a bit silly. This is... I can't wait to see the stats at the end of how much energy Mummified Hand saved us. And I'm hoping to draw Hand Greed again here. Boom. It's huge. White Noise Plus is offered. I actually think I skipped this, but it was close. And the real reason was Wokebird. I was like, oh man. Wokebird is... It's always Wokebird. We're already dead to Wokebird, might as well take it, right? But, yeah. And the only bad option there, by the way, was taking damage because we have Omamori, so that was very sad from the wheel. Right, this is going to be tough. This guy. I think the way that I build my decks does not respect this enemy in particular, and that always comes back to bite me. Like, I don't have a solution to this fight other than clawing it and hoping that I get out. So I am going to use my buffer charge here. Defrag capacitor, chill. Could have considered doubling the capacitor, and I wanted to evoke the frost orbs there, so I played that before capacitor. Block more. Yeah, man. All my homies hate this enemy in particular, and we have Bias Cog in play, so we need to start doing damage. So now I pass after playing 1 claw because I don't want to use my last claw, and then it starts cursing us. We have Omamori though, so I could have just considered, like, I don't even care about getting cursed. Maybe getting cursed is actually good. Better than taking damage, anyway. But yeah, I was playing as if I didn't have Omamori here. that's perhaps a bit silly. It's easy to forget that you have it, of course. It's such a low impact relic so often. Actually one short here, but I get to Turbo Glacier and that kills it, so that's fine. Get me out of here. Also didn't mention the potion belts, but that gives us the extra potion slots, of course. Now we're at 4 potions. And it was a hologram, that's not bad. Get the hologram and get a claw. Upgrade a defrag, of course. Rip the attack bot. FTL. And finds us heat sinks, so well played, FTL. And we're really hoping to hit Echo Form. Hit Echo Form, that's really good. So we are off. Yeah, I'm pointing things at Reptomancer because I'm assuming I'm going to find the Electro. There's Electro. And of course, only a viable target to get Mummified handed there, so reduce the cost of Electro. Now we're good. So we played our entire deck on turn 1. Pretty good. Still going. And this is exactly, like, this is the kind of Defect run that makes Defect look really, really insane. You just play every card in your deck, and you can just keep going and going and going. I'm definitely kind of just clicking cards at this point, to be honest. Reboot with voids in my deck, man. It's disgusting. So the minions will die here if I evoke. I double the claw. Ooh, drew a unfortunate void there, because I could go Glacier evoking the Lightning Orb and then hand grade for the actual gold. Skip another turbo. Don't need. I obviously do not need more than what I have now. We just played like 50 cards on turn 1 there. Upgrade bias color. Just going for all the focus here. Sadly, I have to key a gold-plated cables. That's okay though. Fairy bottles here. Gonna buy that obviously. 4 potion slots. It's simply a no-brainer. And the thing about Frozen Eye in this deck is, which I wasn't anticipating when I bought it, was who cares where the cards are in your deck when you're drawing your entire deck every turn, right? But like I could have known, for example, that FTL was going to draw me heat sinks if I had actually looked. So I'm probably just forgetting that I have it at this point. Considering madness, that cannot be right. I actually just skip. Keep my money. And while this is a great event, sadly never found anything to use our own Morion. The best possible thing at a shop would be bottled lightning, or bottled tornado, excuse me, for heat sinks. That would win me the run instantly, I think. Except Wokebird. Wokebird is still lurking here. Simply don't fight Wokebird for the first time in my life, and I will not die. Yeah, if you haven't seen my previous videos, there was a good run of like 20 runs where every run I was saying it's always Wokebird when I saw Wokebird. It really was always Wokebird for a while. So I think in this one we finally managed to dodge it, which is awesome. And even in runs where it doesn't matter that it's Wokebird. Certainly runs where I think Wokebird is easier than like Donu Deca or Time Eater for sure. Runs where you have like malaise or anything like that. It's really good. And there's a Darkness Plus I'm considering. There's also another Compile driver. Notably, we start the run with, or start the fight with 3 different orbs, so Compile driver is just drawing 3 immediately. Pretty good. I do take another Compile driver after all. I should be looking at my draw pile, by the way. Just saying. Trying to find where Heat Sinks is. 10 cards away. So I am using it after all. I honestly thought I forgot about it, but here I am. Heat Sinks is next up. I could have just drawn a card. With Cool Head. Should have played Capacitor before Chill, not sure why I did that in this case. Sometimes evoking makes sense, sometimes it is wrong. This time it was wrong. Inconsequential, but wrong nonetheless. And this is a perfect sort of situation for fighting Giant Head, because we place so many cards in one turn. Now we're stacking the slow debuff so high. Our attacks are doing a lot of damage, and we are in fact attacking unusually with claws. So very cool stuff. And I'm looking to hand greed, so I avoid playing Compile driver. Boom. And we get a Horn Cleat. Also found a Captain's Wheel and a Vajra, by the way. Not sure when that happened. I guess our yeah, apologies. But Vajra gave us 1 strength permanently. Captain's Wheel gave us 18 block on turn 3. Pretty good relic, although not as good as the other 2 boat relics, I would argue. And Horn Cleat. So now we are all of a sudden 2/3 of a boat. We'll be getting 14 block on turn 2. Upgrade a Capacitor. I decided to go right because I thought that upgrade was more valuable than whatever was the other direction. Pretty good turn 1 here. It must be said. You would think after like 200 of these videos I'd be able to remember to say the relic names, but I play pretty fast, so sometimes it's hard to remember to say everything that happens. I hope you can forgive me. I don't have 3 energies still, man. What's going on here? I wish I had a pocket watch so I could count how many cards I was playing. Oh, I took Hannah Greed. Should have taken Claw. Whoops. Yeah, all things considered, that's a pretty good turn 1. I think past music. Oh yeah, I have this. Hovering over Frozen Eye. Yeah, I intentionally am getting rid of the Lightning Orb so that I can more reliably hand greed here. But just get out, it's fine. And Loop Plus is offered. Gonna be clicking on that, of course. Thanks. And Toxic Egg is here at the very end. Upgrading all future skills we add to the deck. Unfortunately, a little bit late, has to be said. Could have found that a bit earlier. And that's also part of the interesting conversation of what a good relic is. Toxic Egg is one of the best relics in this game, absolutely, but you have to find it before the run is over. Whereas relics like Horn Cleat are always good. Of course, except in the fights where they don't attack you on turn 2. But those fights are rather few and far between. So you could make the argument that Thorncleat is a better relic than Toxic Egg, despite the fact that I would say Toxic Egg has a lot more potential, and it's also class dependent. I think Silent, if you find Toxic Egg from the first elite as Silent, you're probably winning, like almost always, if you don't mess up, of course. But playing, or I guess you should say you're supposed to win. You're in a winning position, like in chess terms. But you can always blunder and lose. Very hard. Very hard game. And apparently got the double the loop here, so we're blocking for so much now. And this coin flip, Time Eater versus Wokebird is massive, by the way. Time Eater is going to be the easiest fight of all time, and Wokebird likely kills us. I don't know if that's even true, because we might just block so much and play our entire deck on turn 1 that like it doesn't even matter that we give it 20 strength or whatever. But it's still like, obviously we'd rather fight Time Eater, of course, by quite a lot. Still going for Hand Creeds. And it is Time Eater after all. Not being ruined by Woke today. Thankfully. And you might think that Time Eater is also really bad for us because we're playing so many cards that it's actually going to restrict our movement here. The reality is, though, that's not true. Playing 12 cards a turn against Time Eater is really good. This is, I mean, we could play more cards here if it wasn't Time Eater. That's definitely true. My claws, no. So make a million orbs. I don't know why I drew there. Should have played like, should have made Nora with Cool Headed probably, and then maybe play Slimes, get it out. And notably, we have this Dark Orb here, and so many orb slots that we can just leave it there, and we have a loop in play, so it's going to be gaining a lot of damage. So we can actually just chill with this Dark Orb now. Wasn't necessary, of course, but it's a nice, easy way to kill this guy. The Snail. Just looking for a dual cast, literally bottom card here. So gotta dig as deep as possible. Can't play Cool Headed though, or it'll evoke the orb. Found it. And we're out. $22.92 to thump, Deep Pulse and Dread into Act 4. Get one last shop here. I took Static Discharge a long time ago just because it was a power, and it technically makes lightning orbs, but you have to actually take damage for it to make lightning orbs. Upgrade Buffer finally, and wow, what a shop! I mean, my god, what a shop! Yeah, this is quite a shop. It has to be said. So Mirror seems really good, of course, on Echo Form in particular. And I think I just buy all 3 relics here, is what happens. But Fission was also good, Apotheosis was fine. We've managed to upgrade most of our good powers, so it's not as good as it might seem, but still fine. And Bag of Prep notably draws us towards heat sinks, which is huge. And there's also enough gold left for a focus pot. So we have double focus pot, power pot, fairy in a bottle for this hard fight. That's quite a haul. And heat sinks is in our opening hand here. Man, pour one out for all the past defect runs that have died of this fight. This is some vengeance here. I have lost runs so many times to this fight in particular as defect. It's just so fast and brutal. Considering playing second Echo form, but it's fine, just play Electro instead. And I'm trying to like figure out a way to if I could evoke one orb and then dual cast the plasma, then I could play Echo form. But it's not quite happening. So I could just reboot here. I don't know why I don't if I don't. Probably forgot about it. It would also prevent me from... Oh, I see. I just seek for the Bane, get rid of it. That's fine. And luckily, one Echo form is in play, so we get to double Glacier here. Captain's Wheel goes off. There's a get the hand agreed for our next act, XD. Could have waited a turn for Happy Flower, but that's fine. And we get a Kunai, giving us 1 dexterity every time we play 3 attacks in 1 turn. And by the way, I forgot to mention what the relics I just bought do, of course. But Data Disc, of course, gives us 1 focus. And then the Bag of Prep draws 2 cards on turn 1. That's obviously quite good. And so this is a little bit sus here because, again, we don't really block very well. Like, we do, but not on the turn, like during the turn. We block at the end of our turn. So we're going to be taking quite a lot of damage here to set up against the heart, which is why it was important to completely smash the first fight there. Yeah, play the claw so I can draw 2 cards. Could have considered waiting on the Echo form a bit, just in case we, could discount it. That would have been good. And I'm holding off on buffer because we don't want to lose the buffer charges like for free. But now I just played it anyway, so we're kind of going to have to now. So goodbye buffer. Blocked for 4. Served us well. And can't play loop here. That's a bummer. So perhaps I played this turn wrong. There's turbo in there though. Now I can get turbo back and play the loop. Second Echo forms here. Now I'm holding off on Bias Cog just in case. Passer is in there. And I chill first to get rid of the plasma, so that the Frost Orb is in the front, so that we will loop the Frost Orb. Probably gonna play that. Yep. So this was quite a turn. This is turn 1. It is wild. And I do want this Glacier next turn, I think, so I'm considering not playing Compile Driver. I'd play it anyway. Gives us 1 dex as well. That doesn't matter that much, but whatever. And we do need to start, you know, doing damage here for sure. So Claw's gonna get involved. And yeah, with 2 Echo Forms, Claw are gonna be doing quite a lot of damage. And we have our Fairy just in case. Am I okay with that hand next turn? Sure. And we are doing good damage. Claws are getting there. It's true, the claws are most of the damage here. Don't get it twisted, this is a claw deck. I don't know what people think claw deck means if they think this isn't a claw deck, because you cannot win with a literal claw deck. Like, I'm playing just claws and like defend and I win somehow. It's not possible. And we get to end with a perfect damage claw here. We've done it! So yeah, pretty cool deck, starting with 2 claws on floor 3 and a hand greed into just an absurd amount of money, and then we found this hand greed, or mummified hand, excuse me. Is that 13 energy per fight? That's quite a lot. So yeah, definitely very cool run, I would say. Drawn a billion cards, just playing a ton of cards. Got to spend a ton of money, and actually won with the defect, of course, which is always a real triumph to me. If you're still here, how have you not subbed? How have you not liked the video? Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.